Yo, what it do, Raider Nation, man? We are in the building, bro. Raiders win again. Well, they win. Come on. Week 1. They get the job done. It wasn't pretty. It was actually quite pretty. But you know what? A win is a win. So with that being said, let's start the show. You ready? I'm ready.
The following film is presented in its complete theatrical version. It was rated R by the MPAA and may not be appropriate for children under 17.
Yo, Raider Nation for life. What he do? How's everybody doing, man? I hope everybody's feeling good, man. You should be feeling fine. You should be feeling blessed. You should be feeling ecstatic because the Raiders have won. The Raiders did win week 1 versus our nemesis, the fucking Denver Donkeys. It wasn't a big win, but you know what? A win is a win, no matter how you look at it. If I win by 1, if I win by 100, I don't give a shit. One thing you can't say is that I lost. So 1-0 puts them in the driver's seat of the AFC West. That's where you want to start out, man. You know what I mean? You want to know what it feels like to be, you know what I mean, in first place. And then you just want to hold on to it. You know what I mean? You want to taste it. You want to just grab a hold of it and just, you know what I mean, not let it go. Look, everybody in our division has a loss. We're the only team that didn't take an L. You know what I mean? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hang my hat on the happiness of that. You know, we will talk about the game. As always, 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allow me to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated. More than I can verbally express. I just want to say thank you once again. Man, we got a lot of people in the building. Still got people pulling up. So I'm showing up appreciated on this late Sunday night, 10:25 to be exact. I promise I won't hold you too long. You know, I promise I won't hold you too long. We're gonna talk maybe about an hour, maybe hour and a half, maybe. We're just gonna have a good time. We're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna love it. We're gonna break down the good and the bad. So let's just get into it. Let's just jump straight into it. So we're gonna start off with the bad things, right? Let's just go ahead and get the bad stuff out of the way. You know, let's Let's knock that out right now so we can get into the good things that we saw from our football team. Top five things I think we need to work on to become a better football team. Before I get into that, ladies and gentlemen, I got a guest backstage, and I have guests that will be popping in, ladies and gentlemen. So please forgive me for the pausing in the show, but I got to bring in one of my fellow network brothers from the N1 network, as well as an OG in this game. You know what I mean? Actually been in the game longer than me. You know what I mean? So I appreciate him being on my team. You know what I mean? Trying to promote something great and positive within the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the cards, you need to check him out. You know what I mean? He's got the football card, baseball card, basketball card knowledge that you need. You know what I mean? If it's cards, talk to him. If it's football, specifically Raider football, talk to him. If it's Josh Jacobs, call him. He's a museum. He'll open up his garage and let you see all of his Josh Jacobs memorabilia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to my show, the one, the only, my guy, Mr. Hardcore Raider. What's good with you, baby boy? How you doing? You good? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
How you doing, brother?
Oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, it's cutting out a little bit. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But you lagging.
Let me let me restart the feed. I'll hop back in, bro.
Got you. So, top 5 things that I think need to be fixed in this upcoming week to take into battle against these Buffalo Bills that we will face next week. First thing we need to fix. Okay, he's back. Looks like it's. What's up, man?
Is that better?
Oh, that's a lot better, man. That's a whole lot better. How you doing?
I'm good, man. My internet's been wigging out tonight, but storm or whatever. Good, man. I'm glad the Raiders won. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know what it is, man. It's them Bronco fans, bro. Somebody got mad and crashed into a Wi-Fi pole, so you couldn't go live tonight, bro. they didn't want you to go live.
Bronco fans are the worst, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Bro, man. But we appreciate you pulling up, man. I was just getting into my top 5 things that I felt like needed to be fixed. I'm looking at the bad aspect of the team first, and then we'll get into the good aspect to close the show. You know what I mean? So we'll spend about 15 minutes on the things that really need to be focused on, need to be fixed. And then we'll spend the last 45 to an hour talking about the good things that we saw from the football team, if we have enough good things to talk about. I feel like there's a top 5 list of things that need to be fixed. The first thing on that is penalties. We have got to fix the penalties. You know what I mean? I get that it was week 1. You know what I mean? A little nervous. You know what I mean? A little jittery. Things happen. But I need that to get fixed by next week. I need to see a more disciplined football team, especially on the defensive side of the ball, next week going into Buffalo. Because if you go into Buffalo doing that, they're really going to take advantage of it. They're a better football team than the Denver Broncos, offensively. Right. Defensively, I don't know. But offensively, they're a much better football team than the Denver Broncos, right? So you can't take the style of play that you played this week into that, you know what I mean, into that game and think that you're going to come out alive and unscathed and you're going to be 2-0. That ain't going to happen. What's your thoughts on the penalties? What did you see from the players that was racking up these penalties?
The Jermaine Illuminor one really kind of lit me up, to be honest with you. I just feel like for a guy that should be further along in his development for him to still be making some of the same penalties as he's made before. The offsides, I just think it's always like on the critical downs too that really hurt us. You know what I mean? So you go from like a 1st and 10 to 1st and 20. I can't remember where we were at. If it ended up being a first down or whatever when he did that, but it's just
4th and 1 to a 4th and 10.
Yeah. And so like for the Raiders, I just, I mean, we all know, but like for the last 20 years, I just remember it's like you get a big play and then it's like you're looking for the penalty. So it's really like demoralizing. It like kills the morale of the team, and so that really pisses me off, to be honest with you. Hitting those 3rd and 20s, those are, unless you got a Patrick Mahomes or someone like that back there, that it just destroys the team, So, I don't know. It sucks, man. Cause like, I'm just at a point with all these years where like, I expect the penalties and I just feel like we have to figure out a way to persevere past it. Cause the referees are always going to, call the game unfair, I guess. But, at the same time, they got to figure out a way to be more disciplined, in those moments. You know what I mean? Like Jerry Tillery had one, but then he made up for it. I felt like, so like, I guess my thinking is like, if you're going to fuck up, at least do something to make up for it. You know what I mean? To will us to a win. So like, Jerry Tillery kind of messed up, but then I felt like he made up for it, getting that sack. So if they make up for it, then it's like, to me, it's more forgivable than if they mess up, but then, they're not doing anything to correct it kind of thing.
Tony Bang, my Brody, what's good with you, man? Pull up, bro. You ain't doing nothing. I know you ain't doing shit. Pull up.
I did want to say salute to NorCal Jesse and everybody in the chat. Salute everybody. Sorry,
NorCal Jesse, my guy. What's good with you, Brody? What's good, man? Salute to you. Hope all is well. Omar in the building. Anthony Estrada, Robert Pena, Dart, D Menace, Alfredo, my guy. What's good with you? Terrence, I think I saw Terrence in the building. Pizzle, my guy. What's good? Salute to you. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing well. Black and Grayed Out, my guy, the executive. He's actually the music producer for the show. That's my dude. Raider Romeo, I see you. B.I., what's good with you, man? Both of y'all brothers. Salute to y'all. My bro, Raider Loon. What's good with you, Loon? Yeah. Ja, my dude, what's good? Jesus Gomez, I see you. D-Buck 77, what it do? Hope you're doing good, man. Milo Hunt, my guy, what's good with you? I hope that's everybody. I hope I didn't forget nobody. Captain Point, what's good with you? Raider Fontaine, Pretty Ricky, what they call him. Pretty Ricky, what they call him. Yeah. Salute to everybody, man. You know what? I'm gonna even do this, man. I'm gonna go ahead and listen. I know some people want to come in and share in the joy. Give me I'm gonna put the link up in about 10 minutes, man. I'm gonna let y'all come in about 10 minutes when we get to the joyous occasion of what we saw today. Right now, we're just gonna focus a little bit more on the bad things that I saw. So the other thing that I saw that I really didn't like, and I expect better, was the unneeded interception thrown by Jimmy G. Jimmy has got to be a little bit more patient. Learn. Hey, look, you don't always have to force something. That interception was based on a forced pass, something he shouldn't have thrown. You know what I mean? So for me, I need him not to do that shit. No more. Don't do that shit no more, bro. If you don't have anything, just throw it away. Because you're right there, you know what I mean, at the goal line, basically, and you throw an interception. If there's any less time on that clock, that could be deadly for us. Especially like in the 4-minute range or something like that. Luckily, it was like 8 minutes, but if it would have been 4 minutes left in the game, that could have killed us. That could have sealed the deal. Where you could have just threw it away and we could have kicked the field goal and tied the game. And then the defense could have did what they needed to do, step up. You know what I mean? If it takes it to overtime, it takes it to overtime. If they get the ball back and get it to the offense and you guys can go down and kick a field goal or score another touchdown for the win, cool. But don't throw away chances. You know, do not throw away chances to tie up the game. You know, because the chances don't come back around. They just don't come back around. So I feel like that's got to be fixed. Everybody's got to settle down and play, you know what I mean, a little bit better fundamental football. You know, what did you see on that play? You know what I mean?
It hit the wide receiver's hands. I don't know. It was definitely a bad throw. As soon as he threw it, I was like, oh man, dude, you know, it looked like it was going to be bad. So, I don't know, man. It's tough for me because I want to have a quarterback and a team where we take chances, dude. You know what I mean? I can't. I mean, like, I don't want to bring up the past quarterback because, like, I really don't. But I just don't want to be in a situation where we have a quarterback that throws away on third down or something ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I know, like, it's a double-edged sword because if you're taking a shot, you might get an interception. But I just want a team and confidence to where we're willing to take shots. So it's a little tougher for me because when I think about it, I agree with you, but to another point, I'm like, you know what? I also at the same time want to take chances. That was that was bad timing, and that was the wrong place for him to throw the ball. But I do want a team at least to be at a point where we're willing to take chances. You know what I mean? If he's
taking
throwing a lot
chances
of
and throwing bad passes is two different things.
right? No, I agree. I agree. Yeah. But you know what I mean? I just don't want the opposite of where I felt like we were at times where, you know, we'd see third downs get thrown away instead of taking a shot. You know what I mean? When we had to, you know, we really needed to take a chance. You know what I mean? Even if it would have resulted in interception. So, you know, the main thing that pissed me off on that drive, to be honest with you, was the fact that we're on the freaking 1 yard line, bro. We got Josh Jacobs. I know he wasn't playing the best. I know the offensive line wasn't blocking the best. That's probably one of my main gripes about, kind of negative things. You know, I think the offensive line did good on pass blocking. I didn't think the offensive line did very good on the run blocking. But Jacobs, I think, was a little rusty as well. But I ain't tripping about that. I think he'll be fine. But, you know, we're on the 1 yard line. We can't run the ball and get a touchdown when we have like the best or one of the best running backs in the NFL. So the fact that we're even passing the ball on that down is what really fired me up. I'm like, dude, we got to freaking run the ball. You know, I don't care if we run it like when at least for me, you know, and I'm not saying this always to be like true, but like I see it as like you're run on first down, run on second down, run on third down. You're going to eventually get a touchdown with Josh Jacobs back there, you know. Now, if it was a different running back, might be a little different, but I just felt like at that moment in that time, if we would have ran the ball, even if we were at 5 or 6 yards after the penalty, we're still getting a freaking touchdown. So that's the part that probably pissed me off a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not against taking chances, but I am against throwing fucking bad passes. And that was just flat out a bad pass. I don't care about taking the chance, you know what I mean? I'm more concerned about make better decisions with the damn ball. You don't necessarily have to throw it away, but damn, man, make better decisions with the ball. Now, if there's a man that's wide open, you take a chance and you just missed it, okay, cool. But when you throw it up in traffic like that, and it's 3 defenders and it bounces, look, the reason I hate when they throw it in the traffic like that, because if that ball bounces up in the air, it's free for anybody. You know what I mean? It's a live ball until it touches the ground. So if it bounces up in the air and there's 3 defenders around, somebody gonna come down with it.
Right.
I hate that shit. You know, it's like playing 3 flies up.
Right. So, well, the other part that aggravated me about that drive and some of the other drives is that we have Michael Mayer, who's supposed to be an awesome tight end, and he did pretty good, I think, blocking. But why aren't we trying to target Michael Mayer on some of those red zone when we're on the 5 yard line? You know, I don't even think Michael Mayer was in on that play. I could be wrong, but you know, for me, I just wanted to see Michael Mayer get involved, especially, you know, in those red zone drives, because I think a guy like Michael Mayer can help the Raiders get a touchdown right there. So the fact that they kind of went a different direction was just a little frustrating to me. It was like run the ball or figure out some plays for Michael Mayer and get him the ball in the end zone. But
all right. So for me, moving on to the third thing I feel like needs to be fixed heading into next week. We gotta make our initial tackles. our defenders who come up and make, hits in the backfield, or hits for short gains. We got to make those tackles, man. We can't let them people slide out and get 3, 4, 5 more yards after the first contact. Our first contact needs to be the only contact until people come around and start piling on it. That Spillane, man. Love the kid, bro. You love the kid, but that one just is that one where he shot the gap. He had him all bottled up. It could have been a turnover on downs, and he missed it. And the kid broke for what I think 7 yards, 7, 8 yards or something like that.
12. I think it was 12.
Yeah, so you gotta get that. Gotta make those tackles, man. Bennett too. Bennett's gotta make those tackles as well. He made some tackles. Don't get me wrong. I know he had 7 solos, but there was a couple that he missed that were key. And it wasn't just him. It wasn't just Spillane. It was a lot of our guys. We got to make fundamental tackles, man. We can't let people bounce off of us. That's not going to work. That's truly not going to work. What about you, man? How'd you feel about that?
I'll leave it short and sweet. I mean, I felt the same way. I mean, for Spillane to be more of like a, he should be good in the run game versus the passing game. So for Spillane to miss that, I was disappointed and pretty frustrated. I was yelling at the TV and shit, but yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, got another guest backstage real quick. I'm gonna bring him out. Y'all know I call him my brother, my cousin. You know what I mean? We like family. I also refer to him as the king of 420 of all color out California. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the host of the 420 hour, also one of my N1 brothers as well. You know what I mean? And I just finished sharing the screen with him with 2 of my other N1 brothers in Dirty Low and Gravy at the Dirty Low Raider Fan Show for Sunday night post game. My boy, the one and only, Mr. Raider Gabe. What it do, Gabe?
Chilling. What up, hardcore? Chilling.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, just fucking loving this day.
Yeah. So right now, Gabe, we're just talking about we're looking at the bad side of the team right now. I'm in the top 5 things that need to be fixed. You know what I mean? Heading into next week. Those are the only bad things that I'm going to talk about. And then the rest of the show is going to be all the good shit that we saw. You know what I mean? So the first thing that I said needed to be fixed was the penalties.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the first thing I said needed to be fixed was the penalties. We've got to get that on track. The second thing I said needed to be fixed was Jimmy G needs to settle down a little bit, make better decisions with the football. I don't want to see any more of that interception shit, forcing passes into the end zone when you don't have it. You know what I mean? I'm not okay with you doing it all the time, but I'm okay with, hey, taking the points. You know what I mean? And take the points. See where we can go from there. Once it gets down to like the 4-minute range, I'm good. The meat needs to stop getting burnt. When did the meat get burnt? I didn't even see a Meek in the game.
You guys do know that. Talking to the chat, you guys do know that Russell Wilson only threw for 177 yards. So, like, they couldn't have got burnt that bad.
I didn't even see him get burnt.
Those 2 touchdowns, the 2 safeties got burnt. That's for sure.
I didn't even see a Meek out there, bro. I'm just being honest. I didn't even see him on the field. Did I miss something?
I seen him, but I don't remember seeing him like being totally out of position or shit like that. I don't know.
I didn't see him in the game, bro. I didn't even see him in the game. Be honest, that's my guy. I be looking for him.
Nah, he was there. He was there for a couple plays. I seen him a couple plays, but he didn't play much. That's for sure.
Yeah. Shit. So, yeah. So, yeah, that was the second thing. Was the Jimmy G needs to settle down, and the third thing I said I felt like needed to be fixed was our tackling. You know what I mean? We gotta make sure that our first tackle, the initial tackle, is the one that fucking matters. You know what I mean? We can't let guys bounce up off of us, slide around, and you know what I mean, gain extra yards after the first contact. We can't be turning people into Josh Jacobs of last year. You know what I mean? So with knowing those three, where do you sit with them? You know what I mean? Let me get your feed in on those so we can get you caught up with us.
With you're talking about the penalties, the
first is the penalties, then the quarterback settling down. Actually, all the players really settling down, and then third one is tackling.
Tackling, I think I think what, like I was talking about this on the other show. I think it was a lot of it had to do. I think because of the first half, I think it left a bad taste in our mouth. I think the first half we were struggling to find our way out there on defense. You know what I mean? They kept, sustaining drives, sustaining drives that were long too. 10, double digit plays pretty much, in each drive and shit like that. So I think those type of drives in the beginning were like just like leaving a bad taste. But I think in the second half we kind of settled down. We made the adjustments to better tackle. We kept everything in front of us. You didn't really see too much of the big plays. You know what I mean? So like we kind of like played everything in front of it, other than the 2 touchdowns, of course, like that. But I just feel like the defense does need to get better. We can't let our corner be our leading tackler. That's for sure. And I mean, Nate Hobbs can't be our leading tackler. I love how Nate Hobbs, plays and everything like that. He shouldn't be our leading tackler. You know what I mean? That's the reason why we got linebackers and shit like that. But as far as Jimmy G, I think for sure that interception, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I know he tried to roll out and he tried to make something happen, but it was just too much traffic there. Too much traffic there. It was just unnecessary. He could have threw it away, got the points, and it's just something like boneheaded mistake, bro. That left points out there, man. And you can't leave in the NFL. You can't leave points out there. You know what I mean? And they left a couple points out there. You know what I mean? Like they allowed the Broncos to stay on the field with the roughing the kicker. They allowed to stay on the field with the illegal contact when we had a fumble recovery. You know what I mean? So it's like those type of things hurt, I think, our defense, overall. You know what I mean? But with the way they looked, because those 2 drives by themselves literally like amounted to like an extra 8 minutes of fucking of time of possession for them. So I just think that right there, and then just finding a way to win the game, dog, it was the best thing for me. I understand about settling down with Jimmy G, but he played good, man. He played poised, and especially when it came down to it, like in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? The fourth quarter, they went down by 6. He brought them back down, scored, and then on the when we needed to get into fucking victory formation, he took it upon himself and got those 8 yards, man, and fucking and just and slid in bounds too to stop the clock. You know what I mean? That's some IQ right there too. Like that's some situational fucking football right there. I like that shit, man. The fourth quarter for me was where we separated ourselves from them. But there was a third thing too, right? You said tackling, you said Jimmy G, and what else?
Penalties.
Oh yeah, penalties for sure, bro. That I think had to do with what I was talking about, the Masterson shit, the illegal contact with what's named the holding on Myers, the fucking, I think it was an offsides on Illuminor again. So there was just a bunch of penalties that were just bad timing, and it seems to always happen that way for us. But the overcoming part was the best thing, because those games would have been lost last year. That game would have been lost last year for sure.
I got a guest, but his device ain't connected. So once they get connected, I'll bring him out. There you go. Get this one out. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I miss it, bro.
It's the best time to have this man on this show because once we're done with this segment, he's forced to have to look at the good side of the team. So he's arrived in perfect time. He arrived in perfect time so he can get his negative side out. So we can look at the good and positive of this team as we break that down. Because there's a lot that you could look at this team compared to last year's team and say, hey, you know what, we're doing better here. We're doing better here. I can see where we can do better there. You know what I mean? So, and I do want to talk about that. But ladies and gentlemen, another brother of mine, you know what I mean, another And1 content creator, another great friend as well. You know, I know if I'm in town, you know what I mean, and I need a place to stay, I got a couch. You know what I mean? I know I got a couch. So, ladies and gentlemen, my brother from LAC to AZ, you know, the king of controversy, up for review, Mr. JT. What's good with you, Brody?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, JT?
Hey, look, so you pulled up in perfect time.
I was just gonna be nice and just talk about the fairly good stuff.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a chance to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm looking at the top 5 things that really need to be fixed by next week because these are little things that can be fixed by next week. There's some other things
that can be fixed.
It's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit of time. So the first thing was penalties. Second thing was quarterback play. You need to settle down. One of the things, you know, I forgot to mention, that motherfucker need to stay in the goddamn pocket, bro. Don't run shit, bro. You are fragile. Don't run shit, bro.
I don't know about that one.
When he got hit, bro.
Did you see him almost get rolled up on by staying in the pocket? That's when he started running. As soon as they touched that ankle, you saw him. He's like, I ain't staying in this pocket no more.
I'm not saying say stay in the pocket, but damn it, learn to slide. God damn it, slide. Learn to slide. Shit.
I mean, he slid pretty well. You know, and at the end of the game, you know, getting that first down to ice the game, right?
And then tackling. So those are the 3 that we're in right now. There's 2 more, but you know, so give me your thoughts on the penalties. Give me your thoughts on the QB play, and then give me your thoughts on the tackling.
Penalties. Same old. You know, different day, same shit. You know, we've been here before. You know, I thought supposedly we were supposed to clear this all up. People was buying in. We was aware of it. You know, typical Raider stuff, right? False starts on, you know, very just, you know, same. It literally felt like a continuation of last year, didn't it? With the penalties. But I will say they, huh?
I would say penalties, yeah, for sure.
With the timing factor, you know, Luminor was right on time, baby. You know, I was like right on time because as soon as it was a false start, I didn't even look at a number. I just said right side Luminor. Sure enough, he was in the game. So it is what it is. Quarterback play. I mean, I'll say the same thing I was saying with Carr. It's a transition, but you know, the issues we had last year, he has the very same issues that Carr did. You know, we was in a red zone. He didn't get it done in a red zone. I mean, there were two from the 2-yard line or whatnot. 3 different opportunities. He fumbled. You know, 3 incompletes. Now, do I just put all that on Jimmy G? Because you know he still have red zone woes with him. But then you start looking at the play calling. It's like, yo, how does Josh Jacobs not touch the ball down there? But you know, I won't get on that just yet because he asked me specific questions. So quarterback play was, eh, you know, it wasn't good. For sure wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it was just like it was. I don't even really. I guess it was good enough to win in the end, you know. But like, there's nothing to be excited about it. To be honest with you, like if that's what I got to look forward for, you know, unfortunately, my prediction is gonna look pretty good, and I don't want it to. The third one. What was the third one?
Tackling.
Tackling. I thought the tackling looked better. I mean, besides some lapses, they look better at wrapping. Um, Problem is, it's the issue of where we're tackling the guys at. You know, um, too many times I'm seeing. I will say this: I don't think Diablo is going to survive in this defense because he's the only one who can run sideline to sideline. Like it's clear as day that Spillane is definitely above average in the run game, and you see his impact there. But the only linebacker who can partially cover is Diablo, and he's not going to be able to cover the whole field and constantly keep covering these guys out the backfield. Um, but I think if he can, I mean, he'll lead the team in tackles. I mean, Nate Hobbs, he's just a tackling machine, so he's always going to be around the ball because he's a ball hawk and he just has natural ability. So I kind of see him as like a nickel linebacker almost more than a nickel safety. Uh, but it was like I mean, tackling itself, I'd probably give it like a C minus. You know, if I had to give it a grade, I'm like nothing stood out really too much to me. I mean, because like the only people I really could remember who were tackling a lot was Diablo and Hobbs.
Yeah, it was some missed tackles by Spillane. It was some missed tackles by Bennett. Missed tackles by Marcus Peters. I mean, it was some missed
Yeah,
tackles. You know what I mean?
but it's all but first game of the season they're gonna it's first game of the season though, so I can't put all
These
that
are
on
little
there.
things that can be fixed in a week. You know what I mean? These are small things that can be fixed in a week to produce a better football game for us next week. I'm not saying it'd be a great game, but it can damn sure produce a better football game for us next week and give us an actual fighting chance if we can eliminate five of these five things. Um,
What were the other two?
I haven't got to the other two. I'm getting
Okay.
into four now. Uh, Four is the play call. I'm gonna be honest about that. Four is the play calling. I still find it to be a little suspect at times. Um, I think like JT said, you should run the ball just a little bit more in certain situations. Open up the passing game like you had been doing. I get the fact that Josh Jacobs didn't look like, you know, the Black Knight on the horse or nothing like that. You know, he wasn't coming in to save the day or nothing like that. But I mean, you have other running backs on your list that actually played in preseason games. Give them some touches. You gave Zamir White the ball. I saw you do that one time. I mean, it didn't really amount to much of anything, but I saw you give him the ball. You know, bring him in and let Josh Jacobs get a spell or two. Yeah, for me, I mean, I think that offensive play calling, I get what they're doing. They don't want to open up the book and show their hand to everybody, and they scheme for a certain way. But my thing is, when the scheme ain't working, you don't want to change. You know, you don't want to add something in. You don't want to change it up a little bit, and I don't like that. You got to be able to change up a little bit every now and then. You know, throw a curveball at them. We didn't throw no curveballs, man. All we did was throw straight fastballs down the pipe, you know. So
They call Derek Carr's favorite play, the flea flicker.
that wasn't no curveball, bro. That wasn't no curveball for me.
I agree, but that's the curveball we throw at teams when things ain't working. It just, it comes out. Because you know what the other curveball is? Jet sweep to Devontae Adams.
And I didn't see nothing called for Hunter Renfro. I didn't see nothing called for Michael Mayer. I'm just saying, man, you got other weapons, and I ain't see none of them get any looks.
Well, the best guy we had on the field is going to be in concussion protocol for the next 3 weeks.
Well, he was out. He was celebrating with the team. He didn't go to the hospital. He decided not to go to the hospital, and he was celebrating with the team, walking around in the locker room.
Gabe, that man was knocked out with his eyes open.
I know, but he was walking around. I seen him when they were interviewing DA. He was walking around celebrating in the locker room.
So the NFL is really concerned about concussions. That was the ugliest one they had
this week.
I know, but I'm just saying what like basically I saw them when they interviewed DA. He's like, damn, I can't even believe he's out here celebrating with us, walking around the locker room with us right now. And he was right there. He was standing right there, walking talking with the other teammates and shit.
Yeah, he proved his toughness and all that, but unfortunately, the NFL ain't gonna let you be tough now. You know what I'm saying? Especially what just happened with Tua and these new helmets. Just imagine if he gets hit like that again and is knocked out again. Yeah, man, NFL ain't playing that right now. Not with the head stuff. So I doubt he plays next week.
No, for sure next week. No, for sure.
And then,
week.
Yeah, so like I said, we don't even know what the lingering effects is. If he just forced himself to stay, that's just something he did on his own personal. But he's still going to be forced. The NFL is going to force the Raiders to do that, and if the Raiders don't, then we'll be subjected to fines, probably draft picks, and we can't have that. So
he'll be in protocol. If he passes protocol by next week, then it's all that. I think they go by the book with that shit anyway. I don't think they're gonna allow him to go back on the field. I mean,
him sitting one week ain't gonna hurt.
Well, I'm just saying,
gonna be able. You know what I mean? Like I know Renfro didn't do shit today. I know DeAndre Carter didn't do shit today or anything like that. But they have. I think it's because the focus was on. I think what's his name had that chemistry with Jacoby today. You know what I mean? I just think next week he's not gonna have him available, so he's gonna have to figure something out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that offense got super stagnant when he was. I mean, it wasn't moving anything at really the whole game. To be honest with you, like his longest pass was 20 yards. And that one, like what was that to the tight end? And let's be honest, if they didn't hurry up, we would have lost that challenge because he didn't control it through the game. So
he did control it. It's just you couldn't see the other side. So
yeah,
it was a catch. So as it was ruled a catch, it's a catch.
Yeah,
wait, Jimmy G had 2 touchdowns in the red zone, right?
I think he had one. I don't even think he threw 1 touchdown.
No, both of them to Jacoby. Yeah, Jacoby had 2.
Yeah, he threw 2 touchdowns.
I mean, in the red zone. I think he had one, and the other one wasn't.
One was from the 2, and then the other one was right after that hit. Not the hit. Right after that Austin Hooper catch.
Yeah.
So it was just. I just was like, yeah. From what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, it was nothing. I'll be honest, man.
We had 2 touchdowns in the red zone and a field goal.
Yeah, I just the way what I see the most out of this game is because what I was looking at earlier too, and what they were because I was watching some shit. I was talking shit on their fucking chat on the Denver Broncos. I guess they have like a podcast and shit. And I was like talking shit in their chat, and they were saying like that they were all fucking devastated for this loss because they have they literally like even up to last year they fucking beat the Niners opening day with this same team. You know what I mean? They have a like a 800%, like a 800, like close to 800 winning percentage when they open up at home, because it's considered an advantage when you start off the year at Mile High,
Yeah.
because of camp and stuff like that. So when you start off the year in Mile High, they usually with history will show that they have like a close to 800 winning percentage at home. So it's like that. And then, the news that Vic Fangio, literally one of the main reasons why he got fucking fired is he said it himself, is because he couldn't beat the Raiders. And then, you got Sean Payton coming in here and just devising a game plan for this, basically for the last month, to specifically for the Raiders, because he was talking about, this week about stopping Josh Jacobs, and he did a good job with that. I just think that all of that taken into account with the ugly game that we played, and we still pulled off a win, bro, is just a big win for me.
It's sad. It's sad when a coach loses his job because he can't beat the Raiders, but the fucking Kansas City Chiefs have beat these niggas 15 times in a row.
But that's why the Raiders
can't beat us, but you ain't beat them in I don't know how many years.
But that's probably why the Raider coaches keep losing their jobs.
Well, no,
Bro,
but that's the problem, because they expect to beat the Raiders because they view the Raiders as like not competition. Like, honestly, let's be honest. They view the Raiders as the worst team. Unfortunately, they're the worst team. And let's be honest, they lost it. Yeah, they viewed us as they were a better team.
Because for 4 years we've been beating them.
And if you lose to a team that's worse than you, you lose your job.
They must be crazy or something like that. Because what is the definition of insanity? Isn't it like you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results?
I mean, well, if you lose to Super Bowl champs, and everybody loses to them, so it's like, okay, we can try and split with them, but lose to
that fourth quarter was perfect, though. I cannot say nothing bad about that fourth quarter.
There's a lot bad you could say about that.
I can. That's when we threw the interception.
Mm-hmm. That's that whole red zone. Like, there's a bunch wrong with the fourth quarter. The defense in the fourth quarter,
that was the third quarter when they had just stopped. Denver came out of the locker room, and the Raiders got a 3-0, 3 and out, and then the Raiders drove it down, and that's when they threw the pick in the red zone. In the fourth quarter, there was 9 minutes left. The Broncos had just, they had just overcame the Raiders had literally stopped them, but stupid ass Masterson, had that roughing the pass, had that roughing the kicker, but they held to a field goal, which kept it to a 1-score game, which we went 75 yards in 2 minutes and 20 seconds and scored a touchdown. You know what I mean? And then literally came out right after that, stopped them to a 3 and out, and then ran out the clock with 6 minutes left. That's a perfect quarter.
I don't even have the fourth quarter stat. It just says end of second.
Before we threw that interception in the fourth quarter with like 8 minutes left.
No, that was the third quarter. Because 8 minutes we had that's when the roughing the kicker was. Around there, like 10 minutes left or something like that, and then they brought it down to like 8 minutes, and the Raiders scored in 2 minutes 20 seconds, which gave the ball back to them. But they went 3 and out, so there was like 5 minutes and something seconds left, like almost 6 minutes, and the Raiders ran the whole clock out. Because usually it's a 4-minute a 4-minute offense in the last 4 minutes that you want to run the clock out, but they literally took it to another level and ran it 6 minutes off the clock and didn't let Denver get that ball back. So that's how good teams win games. That's how good teams end up winning games. I'm not saying that the Raiders are a good team yet. Like, I'm not going to say that the Raiders are a good team yet because it's the first game of the season, but usually that's how good teams win games.
Yeah, but they bailed us out in that fourth, because remember, that's when Jacoby Myers got that they had that personal foul with that hit, and then that's what gave them the first down.
But that was a personal foul.
I'm saying, but that's how they got the first down.
But it's nothing to say, though. If we were still up by 1 point in that game at that point, and it was 4-1. I'm pretty sure that they were at the 45. I'm pretty sure they would have went for it. Now, would they would have got it? That's another question. But I'm pretty sure they would have went for it to try to kill the game. There was 3 minutes left, and it's 41.
At that point, I think it depends. I forgot where the ball was. I'm trying to bring it up, but
47-yard line. It was at the 47-yard line, and they literally it was they got it to the 47-yard line, but they were a yard short. So then
yeah,
right after that, but they called the 15-yard penalty, so it didn't really matter. But
yeah.
right
So
after that,
he would have punted
it was
that ball to pin him deep. He would
I
have
think it was
punted the ball to pin him deep because if they don't get it, then they just kick a field goal to win the game. So he would have punted that ball. He wouldn't went for it on 4th and 1.
that's the question. That's the question to be asked. You know what I mean? That's the one thing. Because
Yeah,
coaches nowadays are fucking bold as fuck. I seen a coach today
yeah.
was going on for it on fucking in his own side of the field on 4th down. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But
Nah, it was
We
I
should talk
just,
about some
I like that one.
nah, I wasn't. Yeah,
No,
I
all
wasn't
right,
too
so
happy
let me
about
get
it.
into
The second half, they only scored 3 points. Denver only scored 3 points in the second half.
Yeah,
hardcore.
but
What you
they
got on
missed the touchdown. They missed a field goal, and then he missed what's called. Remember, the kicker was just bad today.
hardcore? What you got on the subject, bro?
what was the topic? I
call.
mean, we kind of went all over the place. So
Play
Uh,
caller.
that was number 4. Yeah, play
play
calling.
calling. I mean, my main gripe would just be like I said before, the Jacobs when we're like right there on the goal line. I'd like to see us get him the ball, and then I wanted to see us target Michael Mayer. Other than that, I mean, I thought it was honestly, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, like I expected Devontae Adams to not have a great game. Patrick Surtain was going to want revenge. You know what I mean? As good as Devontae Adams is, I didn't expect him to have a stellar game. Most of us probably know Jimmy G ain't throwing 50-yard bombs most likely, nor is that probably the style that, McDaniels really wants to be playing. So when I look at it like that, I think it was okay. Hunter Renfrow was kind of missing in action. That was a little frustrating. Hopefully they get him involved at some point. But all in all, it was conservative, but it's probably like you said, Dirty, where he's probably keeping some tricks up his sleeve, kind of thing for some other games, not wanting to show his hand. So, I mean, we didn't necessarily dominate, but we got to think. A lot of us are writing the Broncos off, in Raider Nation. I didn't. I actually thought we were going to lose this game for multiple reasons, but. That running back over there, Javonte Williams, if he's healthy, that dude's going to be a stud. I knew that going into the season. I'm like, I was worried about that dude. So, we kind of, we addressed the tackling situation, but at the same time, Javonte Williams is a stud. I think the tackle that Splain missed was the other running back, not Javonte Williams.
P. Ryan, where you got stiffed on.
Was the one that I felt like P. Ryan was the one that was giving us the problem stuff, bro.
Yeah, P. Ryan was the one in the second half, and then it was just weird with his play calling because they were picking on Bennett the whole first half, and we just looked like we couldn't stop him. Then he just went away from it. Like,
but
I thank
going
him
into
for
this
it though.
game, I mean, like most of us probably knew they were going to run the ball on us. I thought Russell Wilson was going to be able to get some more rushing yards against us, so I felt like we contained him. Maybe that's more of a positive thing. But all in all, as far as play calling, I'd say like it wasn't great, but it wasn't like terrible either. So we did enough to win, and at the end of the day, like I don't care how it's done, like as long as it's done. You know what I mean? I would have liked to seen a little bit more happen, but you know what? As long as we get the W, I'm cool with it, dude. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to step it up next week against the Bills. Yeah.
And then that week 3 game is looking pretty damn winnable now too. The Steelers look like trash.
Yeah, but
so my number 5.
Well, and let's not.
Oh,
sorry. I'll say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Let's not forget the Broncos. Like, no matter how good, say, the Raiders are, I know we haven't had much success, but if we're good, Broncos suck, or if Broncos are good and we suck, or the Chiefs or whatever, like almost all of our division games are like a bloodbath,
Yep.
So like, even if we beat them 6 times in a row, I don't ever expect to go to Denver and it's going to be like a blowout. You know what I mean? That would actually probably blow my mind. I expect it to be a hard fought, game where it's going to come out to the last minute. So, I kind of look at almost all the, division games like that. Chargers, maybe a little different. But definitely Chiefs and Broncos, like those are my most hated teams. So I expect a nice rivalry, and it's going to come down to the last minute. So we got it done. So I'm happy we got it done. So
we got to remember Denver was a good defense last year too, man, and they still have the same team. They have the same defense.
Well, and who is it? Gregory, he's healthy. He was hurt last year, so
he didn't do nothing in the game. We had him pent up. He was struggling. Like Gregory was really a non-factor in this game. So I'm gonna be honest, man. I just feel like they lost this game more than we won the game.
Josh Jacobs, after the game, they asked him a question about Gregory, because I guess, I don't know if you guys caught it, when Gregory got up and he was like he was jawing at Jacobs during the play. Jacobs was just like smiling at him.
Oh yeah, I know the play he was talking about, but he couldn't say anything. He was getting his ass kicked by the O-line the whole day.
Right now, after the game, in the Raiders press conference, you know how they always have like the three guys in the panel, and then they have like they'll have like the guy backstage, and they'll be doing it. He's like, so what did you think about Randy Gregory? He's like, man, that's just another dude on the fucking field.
He was.
I know, but it's just the way he said it, bro. It's just like, oh, I love that shit about Josh.
A big body for no reason. He, reminded me of somebody else on the field.
He even like shrugged it off. He was like, it was just another dude on the field.
Yeah, because like
my number 5. Number 5. Offensive lines, run blocking. We need to.
You say offensive line to what?
Their run blocking. Their run blocking. We need to.
You are going to address this.
Yeah. That's my number 5. The D line just missed being in that 5. I got a little bit more faith in that D line. I think they'll get it together. But for some reason, our run blocking looks atrocious. You know what I mean? And we need to fix that. I think it's just a little tweaking that could be done, and we can have it ready for the Bills game. But yeah, I think our run blocking, I wasn't happy with it.
How much do you think is it? How much do you think it is? Like the run blocking as a whole, or Josh Jacobs being rusty?
I think it's a run blocking as a whole, because it's the same fucking blocking I was seeing in the preseason.
That's the same blocking I seen last year. That's what I'm saying. Like Josh,
it's not quite as good as what I was seeing last year. It's not quite as good as what I was seeing.
In the back, and in the
it looks like a level below. It looks like the love below. You know what I mean? It looks like the love below.
Not hard to tell why. It's what happens when you have a carousel and you don't have consistency and continuity with guys who aren't sure of their position. When you're just talking about trading them or getting rid of them, or you constantly filling people in and giving their time away. So you're not going to have continuity. You're not going to be able to gel. Yeah, granted, Jacobs wasn't there, but if you had the same guys who was blocked for him last year, they know how he runs. They know where his cutback is. They know where his lane is. They know where he likes to run. But when you constantly change that's coaching. Now they have to build that rapport. They have to develop chemistry again. That's what that is. It's literally, I'm gonna be honest, this is literally what happened, except for we won the game because the Broncos blew it. This is what happened last season. Jacobs really didn't get that many touches. They tried to throw the ball a lot more with Carr than they did with Jimmy G. And the only difference between the Carr game and this one is the Chargers didn't make as many mistakes as the Broncos did. Like I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm not like
Carr threw 3 interceptions, bro. I mean,
he played. Yeah, he played bad. He played bad, but I'm saying they played bad. But I don't feel like we won the game. Like, let's be real. If he hits that 50-yard field goal that he usually hits, and he hits his extra point, we lose the game. Even if he makes the extra point, we go into overtime.
I don't know. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. I saw a defensive line.
We were supposed to the way the Broncos played, we should have blew them out by at least 2 touchdowns.
We're closed up. The holes were closed up. The only chance Jacobs had a lot of times was to bounce outside, and a lot of times he would have broke free had he bounced outside. But and you said Randy Gregory wasn't a factor. I think he was. I think Randy Gregory was all over the place, helping close up those holes, man. So I agree the run blocking was not good, but they were probably better than I've seen last year as far as pass blocking. But for some reason, maybe they're just not gelling. I do think Jacobs is rusty, but I do agree with Dirty where the run blocking, needs to improve for the offensive line. But at the same time, like Broncos have a good defense too, and they were closing the holes. The linebackers, everybody was just like dogpiling, dude. They came ready to stop Jacobs. That was like their number one thing, So like I have to consider that as well, when I'm trying to evaluate it, because it's not all the Raiders and not all bashing the Raiders offensive line, in my opinion. We got to, understand that, those guys are coming across, with a game plan as well, and they got some talent over there.
I mean, so if they're selling out for Jacobs, then that means you going to have opportunities with all the receivers you brought in that know the offense, and the only receiver who really was doing something and like taking advantage of his matchup was Jacoby.
Yeah, he had like I think 80 something yards, and what did Devontae Adams have, like 70 something or whatever? So
and then but my thing is we lose him. So now you could focus on. I mean, you saw it, but let's be honest, man. I'm sorry, Jimmy G has no continuity with the other receivers. It looked like he's only been throwing to like 2 or 3 receivers. I want to see what Masterson might do when he come in, because he was the only other guy who looked like he can get open in a preseason.
Who?
But not Masterson. What's his name? He wears the dude Wilkerson. Yeah.
Hey, Cash. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was you or not, Cash, because I didn't see.
Like I said, maybe they put Wilkerson in there, but because I'm gonna be honest, I don't see them. Like, why even run Renfrow out there at this point? Why even run him out there? Hey, he has no packages. I feel he's just wasting space. Get someone out there who you want to throw the ball to. I didn't even see Jimmy G look at Hunter Renfrow whenever he was out there. So like, and no one's worried about him at this time. So it's like,
we'll see next week when he's next man up. He's gonna have to be that next man up because
is he the next man up? I don't even think he's. I think. Yeah, I'm be honest. I think they have more of a package for Carter than they did for him.
I don't know.
Somebody got Raider Ben like that, Cash.
Or
got Ben like that.
Or what happened with Trey to stretch the field? Why isn't Trey out there to stretch the field?
He didn't see the field.
If you're talking about, none of our, you saw who played slot when we threw the ball at slot. It was Devontae Adams. You know what I mean? I don't know where Hunter Renfrow was. I don't know where Trey Tucker was.
But if you're struggling to like find things.
Tucker was out. He was hurt.
Tucker didn't field.
Okay.
I know this though. I know what I did see and that I did like, but I want to see it improve. Was that heavy front? You know what I mean?
Okay.
When we run that heavy front, I want to see that improve. I like what they were thinking, but I want to see that improve.
Yeah, when Mumford comes in as a tight end, and then they bring in,
I think when they're bringing in, they had 9 linemen out there, bro.
They had Jacob Johnson lead blocking, and then they had what's his name as a tight end, fucking Mumford as a tight end.
Yeah, if we can improve that, I think that's like the goal line D or whatever. But if we can improve that,
but I think it was also the other thing that people don't really even see in the box score too is like that big penalty that DA drew against Patrick Surtain at the 2-yard line.
Talking about the pass interference one?
2-yard line. So he had 6.
Was that the one on the sideline or the
sideline?
Oh, okay.
Tillery sack was clutch. That shit was clutch.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Outside of that and Max's going beast mode for that one drive.
Yeah, he had all 3 plays where he had accounted for.
Yeah, like the D line was.
All right, so
It's still the same.
now that we reviewed the negative, let's talk about the positive side in these last 30 minutes of the show. Let's talk about the highlights of the game. Let's talk about what you was impressed with. Let's talk about what you liked about this game. We'll start with hardcore. Well, what are give me what you liked. Give me one thing you liked about this game, and then we'll go to JT and Gabe and back to me, and then we'll just go around like that. So I know it's a couple of things, but give me one thing it is you could take from this game that you really liked about this team.
I'm going to say grit, man, from the entire team. Play till the last second ticks off the clock. I've seen the Raiders do the Raider flop last 2 minutes of the game too many times. I mean, as much as like we might be a little scared seeing Jimmy G roll out, and test that ankle. I was a little critical of him in the offseason. He looked like that ankle's healthy, ready to run. Him running and sliding. We've seen times where the past quarterback wouldn't do that. To say the least, and so, he did at times, but other times he was a little too reserved, in my opinion. But Jimmy G went out and did it, man. And we need a quarterback that's going to take chances, even if we're worried about him getting hurt, he's putting his body on the line, going to do what it takes to make a play when it counts. And that's what we need on this team. We need leaders. We need dogs, guys that are going to, have that grit. And I feel like the Raiders did it till every second ticked off that clock, and that's all that matters. I don't care if we win by 1 point or 100 points. All that matters is that we win. So it ain't got to be pretty. It just got to matter when it matters most, and that's at the end of the game.
JT, give me something you like that you saw about them. Give me something you like looking at in this team.
That I liked. Bennett stepped up to the challenge. Even when they were coming at him and Champagne was picking on him, he was still there. Diablo as being all over the field, being able to cover the guys out the backfield. And Spillane.
That's three different people. I say, give me one thing you liked. Three people.
That's what I like. You can tie it up. I guess those defensive guys, but yeah, I like seeing the rookie out there. Accepting the challenge. He didn't cave. He was out there on the island at times, and he wanted the challenge. Granted, he didn't get their number one, but he was up for it.
Yeah.
What I like, I liked that. I don't know, man. There was a lot of noise out there this like fucking this whole off season with a bunch of like questions about different players and stuff like that. So I think that they came out with the mindset, dog. Like I know that some stuff just doesn't work out on game day like the way it's supposed to, but like what Hardcore said, man, that grit. You know what I mean? I like the way that that they didn't let that shit get to them at the end of the game where the Raiders will be Raiders. You know what I mean? Like it's just it just always you get that feeling when it's they could score and be up by a point, but when there's 5 minutes left on the clock, you just have that feeling like we're still gonna lose this game. You know what I mean? So just that grit at the end of the game and having the ability to like just end the clock like that, bro. Like that's the way you have to win a game, and just to get into victory formation. I like that shit. That just the way we finished the game, and I would agree with Hardcore, man. That the grit, man, makes just because it was a gritty win today, bro. Like it took everything. We kind of shooting ourselves in the foot at times, but we found a way to win.
I got another guest backstage, ladies and gentlemen. He is also an M1 content creator. He is new to the scene with his own show. I assume it will be. I expect it to be flying up the charts really soon. Every show he gets better and better. Hey, look, a lot of people in the world I respect. You know what I mean? So a lot of people in the world that I don't. He's not on the list of people that I don't respect. So,
shit.
Hey, We need drinks. Only drinks Dos Equis. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only, the founder of the best beard oil on the planet. You know what I mean? Get your shit right. You know what I mean? And the owner of Raiders Outsider. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Gravy. What's up, Gravy? What's good with you?
How y'all doing?
What's shit?
What's up, Gabe?
Long time no
JT
see.
and Hardcore. How you guys doing?
What's up,
All right, how you doing?
So we're going around the table right now. We talked about the 5 things that needed to be fixed, that I felt like small things needed to be fixed in order to have a good game next week. One was the penalties. 2 was quarterback play. He needs to settle down. 3 was the tackling. 4 was the play calling. And I forget what 5 was. What was 5?
I thought 5 was the play calling.
5 was 4 was play calling. 5 was the defense, or what was something that you liked?
What 5 was the what?
Yeah, 5 was name something that you liked about being positive.
Nah, that was the end of 5 was something else.
Yeah, I remember what you said too. Like, what the fuck was it?
Well,
With
play.
the run block? With the run
Oh no,
blocking?
the offensive line, line run blocking.
Run block. Oh, line run block. Those were the 5 things. Say, hold on, nah. I didn't skip 5. 5 was run blocking. So real quick, Gravy, let me get your opinion on the penalties. You know what I mean? Let me get your opinion. What's your thoughts on that? How do we
Penalties.
go about fixing that?
Penalties is discipline, and I thought that would be I thought that they would be better at that when this, especially clean that up, during the off season. But the penalties, there was a lot of them, but we still did the same ones at crucial times on third downs. The penalties when we were in the red zone that Illuminar got again, and I just knew what number he was gonna say, man. That right when we were in the red zone right there, and it was. I shouldn't have got as pissed as I did, but I just wasn't thinking the other guy that would do that. At that crucial time, he always
Always on
does that,
time. Always on time.
and that's awareness and something that you need to have in football. And I don't know how an offensive lineman can have that type of awareness. Maybe he only had at least one, but one a game is bad, man. It's no matter who it is, it's just bad.
All right, quarterback play. Let me get
But
your thought on
quarterback play, I thought that Garoppolo managed our huddle well. He was not as accurate as I wanted him to be. He kind of left receivers out there to get smashed a little bit, throwing the ball a little bit behind them, ahead of them, so they can't turn their head and look where they're going. I
I didn't
expected a
say
lot
it.
more throws.
I didn't say
I
it, Chet.
expected a lot more. Yeah, I expected
Gravy
a
said
lot
it.
more throws. A lot more throws. Wide open receivers they could get some yak. It was like they got him and just dropped, and that's something he's gonna work on probably. Or getting
that.
more adept to receivers. A little bit more time.
What'd you feel about our tackler?
Thought the tackling was way better. Linebackers were in there. Bennett tackled well. I thought.
So was I
Our
the only one
safeties.
not impressed with the tackling then?
Huh?
I'm
think they
the
kept that.
only one not impressed with the tackling.
I like the way they.
What was your issues with the tackling? What I would like to know.
I felt like it was too
my
many missed
issue.
tackles. I felt like it
You
was
said too many missed tackles today. No, I haven't got to that yet. But there was a lot. There
Hey,
was a lot out in
it was
the
enough. It was
flat.
enough in my eyes, bro.
That flat, we couldn't cover that flat they had, and a lot of them.
That should have been.
How about that one-on-one tackle with Morik and the tight end when it's the game's on the line, basically, dog, because they get a first down right there. That was a great tackle. That was a great tackle.
There were some tackles that were missed that made the game, you know what I mean, go in a different type of way. Bro. The Spillane tackle.
We missed a lot of tackles for them to get first downs, and then that's what matters to me.
That he should have made. You know what I mean? And that turned into an 8-9 yard gain. Like the tackles that were missed, they turned into yards gained. You know what I mean? And I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't like that.
Usually, like the other years, though, you would see missed tackles, and those were going for touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like so, like. Yeah. That's what I do like about this defense, that they're keeping everything in front of them. You know what I mean? You didn't see no big plays. You didn't see no real big plays from them. They had, I don't think they had a play over 20, 30 yards today for the Broncos. I mean, so they didn't have no big plays. So it's just like, I like the way they're keeping everything in front of them. So it's just, but they still have stuff to learn. And I also, like what I was saying earlier, some of these rookies are, I think today was like the gauge of speed, of the game speed and stuff like that. Watch some film, adjust a little bit to it. Now you know what it is. You know what I mean? Now you're not going up against 2s and 3s anymore, bro. You're going up against 1s now. So you gotta really. I think today was an eye opener for them too, and especially because you can see it in the first half. You see the adjustments were made in the second half. They only allowed 3 points. First half was kind of sloppy all over the place, where you got guys were adjusting to the game of the speed. I think. You know what I mean? That's my opinion.
I got you.
I mean, there's only 10 points scored in the second half. We only scored a touchdown, so
yeah, they only
it's just overall the second half was just.
Let's get Gravy's opinion on number 4.
I can barely hear you, Dirty.
Oh, you say he wants to hear what your opinion is on the topics you were saying.
Number 4.
Yeah.
On all 4 more, I forgot what they were, bro.
So we went over penalties, quarterbacks, tackling, play calling.
Oh yeah, play calling and run blocking.
Yeah, play calling. How'd you feel overall about the play calling? Did you think it was, was it anything different? I felt like it could be better. Personally, I mean, I know he schemes for every game differently, but I felt like this game probably should have been schemed a little bit better, or the scheme should have been changed when shit wasn't working. So that's just me. Like I said, I would like to run the ball just a little bit more. It doesn't necessarily have to be Josh Jacobs. You can bring in some of these other guys and hand the ball off or whatnot. But I just felt like in certain situations in this game, I felt like we could have been running the ball just a little bit more, and we didn't. But what was your thoughts on the play call?
It was the way I know the offense. It was the basic time of possession, don't make mistake type play calling that McDaniel does. Nothing, creative. Just his initial plan to me was to get physical and see what we could do with these guys, to see if we can move it around. And then we didn't establish that in the way that I would feel that I wanted to. But if I thought that the play calling with the intermediate passing game was good. They can work on the run blocking more, to get that running game better. But as far as anything, over 15 to 20, we really didn't see that much. But it's coming. It has to come. But I hope it does. But all in all, play calling wasn't. It was just conservative, time of possession type, keep the chains in front of you type things. I would expect from McDaniels in a game like that.
Number 5, the offensive line run block.
What did everybody else think?
I wasn't happy with it.
Am I thinking they were happy with our play calling? Yeah. You're gonna see that a lot from this dude. He's not. He gets creative, but it's a play and then a bunch of formations. That's all it is. So
how do you feel about our run blocking?
Run blocking needs to improve. It needs to improve, and I think that's the inflammatory, whatever it is. They're not familiar with having Jacobs back there, his type speed and his patience and what he wants. Because basically, the only difference that I seen there was Van Rooten. Isn't he the only one that wasn't there last year?
Yeah, he's the only new guy.
Van Rooten was the only one, and
Yeah, he took
they
bar
pretty
spot.
much stayed away. He did a fairly good job. But the way that defensive front was good, and they stood. It was like a ground war right at the line of scrimmage, and that doesn't give Jacobs a lot of options. He did it. He did what he does best. He gets through the hole and tackles and gives punishment. So that's why. But they need to improve that part of the game. To me,
And give me one thing that you really enjoyed watching in today's game.
I liked us being successful in the red zone finally. That's what I like. We got 2 tuggies there, and I like seeing that instead of a bunch of field goals. You seen Carson? What you would see him 6, 7 times a game. What he was out there twice.
Yeah.
Besides the extra points, so
We only had 17
I'm cool with
points.
that.
We only had 17 points. We was doing that last year. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, but we wasn't scoring in the red
But
zone.
we didn't get touchdowns in the red zone.
But we
Not at out of 17 points, just the threes.
so how did we get better?
Putting up
How do you
touchdowns.
got 2 tuggies in the zone?
We were talking about being positive, so I guess 2 touchdowns in the red zone.
For
I'll
me,
take it.
I don't remember that happening last year.
for me, it was
Look at the tape.
it was seeing another capable wide receiver other than Devontae Adams. It was seeing a wide receiver that could go out there, run the route, and catch the ball. I mean, we had a lot of wide receivers that could do one or the other, but they couldn't do both. Now we have 2 wide receivers that can run routes and catch the ball. I enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed watching the fact that I could depend on somebody else to get the job done if my star, is being locked up like that. So
Bracketed.
For me, I enjoyed watching, a more talented wide receiving duo. And yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was pretty much that. We have 7 minutes left. I will give each person a minute 30. You have up to a minute 30. Tell me your takeaways from the game and what you look forward to next week. I'm start with Gravy.
Better run blocking, better push on the defense. That needs to happen, or we ain't going anywhere. And I thought it would be better this week, but it wasn't. Nothing to me. So that has to happen. The defensive line needs to get in there.
All right. What was your takeaway from this week?
Takeaway was this week was I thought we came into at the end of the game how we fought, how we grinded it out, and then that's all new to that's a new thing that's being established on this team, and that it's there already, and then they didn't give up. and not really. I don't want to say give up, but give away the game. They took the game over, and once we got that first down by the quarterback, just kneel down in victory and then try to do anything extra. Just take the win, get out of there. That's what I liked about it.
So, and tell the people where they can find you and what you got coming up.
Raiders Outsiders on YouTube. That's it. But yeah, like Wednesday. Early afternoon, I'll be doing something. Outsiders.
And you and Low in tomorrow? No, Tuesday, right? You guys are in Tuesday?
Yeah.
For sure.
Dude, yeah, I'm on with Low on Tuesday. I'll do Wednesdays.
For sure. Hardcore, man. Give me your takeaways and what you look forward to next week. And where they can find what you got coming up.
I appreciate it, man. I like the grit, like I said before. I don't expect the first game to be necessarily pretty. We got a lot of new weapons. Everybody's learning to gel together. So to come out with a victory is a huge plus. There's no tape on teams back and forth, all directions. So, it's kind of yet to be seen, like what this team is going to be as far as what I got coming out. And then I'll hit the other one coming up. I've been working a lot, so I don't know when I'll be able to drop anything, but you can subscribe to me at Hardcore Raider on YouTube. But coming up with the Bills, I want to see Michael Mayer get involved. I want to see Hunter Renfrow run blocking improve. I want to see Josh Jacobs do better. I feel like Josh Jacobs kind of guy where you feed him, and obviously he had some rust, but you keep feeding him, he's gonna wear down the defense, and he gets better as the game goes on. So I want to see some of that, and then hopefully Jacoby Myers is okay. If not, I'd be curious to see what we do to mediate that. And I did have one question. I know we're short on time, but I'm just curious what you guys think. How many games into the season will it take for us to know what this team really is? Whether how good we are or how bad we are or whatnot. I'm going to say 3 or 4 games we should know who this team is, but I don't know if you guys can answer that as we close out. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I'm optimistic. We'll see what we do against the Bills. So
2 games.
I'm giving them until week 7, so I'll let you know then.
All right.
Great team.
Wait, so what were the questions you said? What I take from the game and what?
Take from the game, what you're looking forward to next week, what you got coming up, and where they can find you.
What I take from the game, it feels like we have the same team from last year. We won, but I feel more like Denver blew the game than we won the game and took it from them. I mean, outside of like 2 particular events, other than Jimmy G running and scrambling and getting the first down to ice the game, and Max just dominating that one series, there was nothing about the game that was special. Like, I just think we went from last year's team that had more explosive plays and just couldn't get it done in the red zone to a team that is going to struggle to get to the red zone, but probably will be more efficient in the red zone. That's what I'm kind of taking from it right now. But like I said, we'll see more with the Bills, a team that can punish us with the mistakes that we made. And they can score more, because I personally think the Broncos are the worst team in the league. And, sometimes you can win ugly. Hopefully this was just an ugly win, but that's what I took from it. I really didn't take nothing. I'll see what next week brings. On the flip side, I think we're the only team that won in our division. So, we gotta win. Chiefs are going to struggle, depending on. I think Chiefs are very heavy dependent on Travis Kelce. So I think we actually really have a good shot at beating them. Chargers might be better than I thought they were, and the Broncos are just gonna be shitty ass Broncos. So
So
we should beat them again. So there is a better chance. I don't think the Chargers are as good as they are, but I could be wrong. You know, I think certain people have the Chargers actually going to the Super Bowl. I'm not that big on it. I mean, but the Chargers did look really, really good today against Miami. They're going to be a problem, you know, if they don't make their typical mistakes that they can make. I mean, until we beat the Chiefs, you know, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. You gotta knock the king off their throne before you know you can take it.
yeah, that's for sure.
So,
But as of right now, we the king of the, you know, we lead the division. I don't think nobody saw us be the only team in our division with a win.
I seen it. I called it all last week.
You did?
AFC champs week 1.
Yeah. Well, I even
Hey,
won
we
my
going
parlay
4-0, bro. 4-0.
with that shit.
yeah,
I picked the Lions. Yeah, I won
We're
$300
gonna
today.
clean all this shit up. We're gonna clean all this shit up, and we're gonna go 4-0.
That's
We'll
right.
have to clean it up in 1 week.
Wants to stand up out of his chair and do the Rocky dance. Dun, 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 dun.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I'm happy I got to celebrate a win, so Bronco fans couldn't, and I could rub it
Yeah,
in. But
for real.
I'm just like as of the season going along, like when you look at the schedule and who we have,
man, you have passed your minute 30, bro.
I know, man. I said, how come you only get a minute 30 and JT gives like 8 minutes?
hey man, I'm on black people time. That was a minute 30 to me.
Yeah, yeah, man, yeah.
I would say that the things I seen. You said seen good today out of today, right? I would say like
You take away from today. You looking
I,
forward to the next game and what you got coming up in the regular final.
I think my biggest takeaway from today is just getting that monkey off your back. You know what I mean? Getting that shit off your back. You know that you don't have to. You got that win. You got that, and it's just like first game of the season. You know, a division opponent, and it's just like you just build off of that, bro. You like I think that gives you confidence. You know, going into next week because no matter how you won, you won. You know what I mean? It's like this is the NFL, bro. Like and you know what I mean. Everybody, you know, that they ask after the game, you know what I mean? It's just it doesn't matter if you win by a point or 30 points, you know what I mean? It's like still counts the same, you know what I mean? So I just think that I like that aspect of it that we, you know, that we went in there, took one from our division, and only team that won. And I just think that we're I don't know, bro. I just think that it's gonna be a different year, bro. I think it's more I like the efficiency from Jimmy 20 for 26, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, ain't bad numbers, bro. I just like the it's efficient. You know what I mean? Just the efficiency. You don't have to be over the top. You know, great. I just think this offense don't call for that when you have that many weapons. So I like that. I like that part of it. And then what I look forward to next week, I think Josh Jacobs needs to be better. I think what we get, knocking the rust off. I just think knocking the rust off this week. He said it himself after the game. You know what I mean? Like it's like he left a couple plays out there where he just didn't have the footing that he usually has. You know, mid-season, he's kind of slipping all over the field because he just he's rusty. So I feel with that, will I think that right there by itself, once he gets back acclimated to being the guy again. I just think that the run blocking will improve as well, bro. Because like last year, I mean, he made a lot up for that offensive line. You know what I mean? I think him doing what he was doing last year, breaking tackles behind the line of scrimmage because he was making guys miss behind the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? So I think that part, just by having him, just up to 100%, because I don't think he's fully 100% with his just his everything, dog. His just his like his gas tank, everything. So I just think that, and the defensive line. I was really upset with the defensive line today, but in the first half especially. But I also think that the adjustments were good, man. So I just think if you could just keep up with those adjustments and how you played in the second half, and just with the run game getting better, dog, I think that will open up the play action next week, and we have a good chance, bro. I just think we have a good chance because Josh Allen likes to take chances, bro. I think Josh Allen loves to fucking risk throws, and I just think we could get some off of him next week. Especially, oh, and another thing, they play tomorrow, so they're gonna be meeting us on a short week. They're playing a division opponent tomorrow, a very physical division opponent tomorrow, and the Jets. So that's we got to see how they come out of that game health wise.
Don't
So
we
that's
travel to them though? We travel
no,
to them, right?
but
Yeah, it don't matter. It's still a short week. It's still a short week, and they still, like you said, coming off a division opponent. So, it's gonna be a tough physical game. And they got Aaron Rodgers. That day, I'm telling you, bro. Sleep on the Jets if you want to, but I told you, the Jets ain't that far away. All they needed was a quarterback. I felt like all the Jets needed was a quarterback, and they added a couple of more weapons aside from a quarterback. So,
don't we play both these teams this year? So we need to scout both teams.
Yeah, we play both teams.
I'm expecting the Jets to get in the business tomorrow, especially with it being Aaron Rodgers' first game in New York. Yeah, I think they're gonna get in the business tomorrow.
Can I say one thing before we roll out?
Yeah.
So I've been like really pessimistic because the whole Jacobs thing, but once I know they didn't give him a contract, so we'll see what happens after this season. But he's a Raider this year. It like changed my attitude a lot. So with that being said, I'm just curious, JT, will your opinion change if the Raiders beat the Bills?
I had us beating the Bills, but I did have us losing to the Broncos. I had us beating Bills. So, like I said, I wasn't all up in arms about the Bills being like Super Bowl contenders. But unfortunately, they have the makeup to like really expose us. So that's like a thing. But like I said, what Gabe said, if Josh takes too many chances, we have hopefully he goes after Peters because Peters definitely loves quarterbacks like that, and we can make him pay. But we'll see.
Alfredo said I'm pessimistic in the offseason. Once it's game time, man, all that shit goes out the window. It doesn't matter what any of us say, what he said, she said, even all the people that wanted to get rid of Jacobs, and all of a sudden now they're Jacob supporters again. None of that matters. All that matters is on Sunday, just win, baby. The Raiders won. So absolutely, dude, you better believe I'm going to be happy. So we start tanking and they get rid of our players. You'll see a completely different tone for me. But if they keep the crew together and we fucking ball out and we got a shot at the playoffs, I'll be one happy motherfucker because that's all I want is to win. I ain't about this rebuild 3 to 5 year shit. I want it now.
Hey, look.
I'll ask you a question too. I think 4 games.
If the playoffs start tomorrow,
well, hardcore JT's always wrong anyway. So
Really, I've been right far too often. That's the reason why I'm so. Where was I wrong?
JT's wrong. No one listens.
You had Broncos winning this game, so you were wrong.
All right, I had the Broncos winning.
You did.
He just
I said I had the Broncos winning. Okay, that was the first time I was wrong. Got you.
He hopes the Raiders go down.
I hope the Raiders go down. Okay, that's a nice observation right there, buddy.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Like I said, I had aspirations of us being in the Super Bowl. That's why I'm like, I don't see a Super Bowl team. Like we had the Super Bowl after chill home field advantage. We could finally sell out and black it out. That's why I'm mad. I was trying to go Super Bowl.
Did I see it? Okay, so to that point, I hear you. Right? Did I see a team? Did I see a team that won a game today? Yes. Did I see a team that could win a Super Bowl today? No, I didn't see that. But I did see a team that could win football games. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sure. And tough games like the games we were dropping last year. So Gabe, let them know where they can find you real quick, man, before I get into
right here on YouTube, man. Raider Gabe 420, man. Just we're gonna be doing it. I'm probably gonna do a show on Tuesday at 420 because me and Gravy are gonna go live on Wednesday to do like the picks for the week. You know what I mean? Give you guys the locks of the week and shit like that. Shit. I mean, hopefully, their locks, but yeah, just that, man. And oh yeah, hardcore. I was gonna, I think that question you asked earlier. Just think 4 games, bro, because it's 2 division games. You know, the Pittsburgh, and then you got this week the Bills. So I think those are 4 good challenges that I think at the end of that we'll know who we are.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, I was just curious what you guys think. Appreciate it.
Well, should Pittsburgh play anything like they did this week, next week, bro? Fuck that. That should be a goddamn cakewalk. They look horrible today. They look awful. Now here's my takeaway from today's game. I was happy, but I was not impressed. Okay. I feel there's still some work to be done. But I think if our players continue to put in that work, I can see some really good results. So to that aspect, I'm extremely happy about it. I also, from today's game, look at it as things take time. Shit builds over time. A lot of our players getting acclimated to the game again. I expect this to be the worst game they play all year. I expect week 1 to be the worst game that they play all year. I think it gets better. It has to get better from here. It's not an option. It has to get better from here. Yes, you won, but you got to expect better from yourself. So you got to raise the bar. You got to raise the bar. I know a win is a win, no matter by a point or an inch or a mile. It doesn't matter. It's still a win, right? What I look forward to. That's my outlook for today's game. I was happy, but I was not impressed. I expect the work to be done, and I expect to see rewards and benefits from the work that they put in. They know what they got to do. I expect them to do it, get it done, and let's push forward. What I look forward to next week. I look forward to Josh Jacobs having a little bit more rust knocked off of him. I think he'll be better next week than he was this week for sure. Maybe a 100-yard game. I expect Devontae Adams to eat just a little bit more as well next week. And I do expect to see Myers and Renfro as well. Not Jacoby, Mayers. I'm sorry. Mayers and Renfro as well. Because you can eat up the middle of the Bills defense as well. They got a rookie out there. You'll see him tomorrow. He's got to get acclimated to the game as well. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to this defense playing a little bit more better. They didn't got the, they didn't got the chance to, feel some real contact, play a meaningful game. Hold on to that number 1 position. Everybody else in the divisions is 0-1. You put up another win. That's just makes you 2-0. So even if they win, you're still in first place. That's what you got to do for the rest of the season. You already set the tone as being the first place team in the AFC West. Now you got to hold it for the rest of the year. You can't let it go at no point in time. You have to remain the number 1 team in the AFC West from here on out.
Keep your foot on their necks.
From here on out, you have to be the number 1 team in the AFC West. From here on out, the number 1 team in the AFC West is the title.
I want to see JT do the Rocky dance. He's going to do it one of these days for us.
That's my expectation. You prove to me that you could be the number 1 team in the AFC West, even in a shitty football game. I expect for you to play better and hold on to it.
Yeah.
Don't let it go for no fucking reason. It don't even need
Patriots
to be a conversation. Huh?
Patriots have started out slow a lot of years. There was years where I thought the Patriots were going to be trash, and then they turn it up midway to the end of the season and end of the playoffs. That's all that really matters, in my opinion, is that the Raiders are hot when it matters, and that's going into playoffs. That's where it's going to be. key. I mean, we need to beat some of these good teams, be competitive, but we just got to find a shot at the dance and be hot at the end of the season. If the Raiders can do that, we got a shot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to each and every single one of these gentlemen. They are part of the M1 network. But we spread nothing but our opinions, facts, and love for the nation, for the silver and black. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allow me and my panel to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated, more than I can verbally express. And as always, no matter how much it rains, you can never stop the sun from shining. Raider Nation, YouTube, fuck who hates you, who fucking loves you. Go get your sunshine, man. We out.